Why, hello there. I'm Sin. We are in the Book Nook, and today we're going to talk about my past, present, and future of books. What I've just finished, what I'm in the middle of, and what we're going to get into. All right, so recently I just finished the book called The Blue Hour by Paula Hawkins. It takes place in Scotland. It's about a deceased artist, a cottage on an island in the sea, and a work of art that appeared to possibly have a human bone in it. And also, there was this like disappearance of the artist's husband who had gone missing a long time ago. So there's that kind of mystery and whatnot. Like, whatever happened to him? We don't know. The story follows this man, Becker, and he is a curator at this estate, and they are in the midst of trying to get all of this artist's work. Vanessa Chapman, who had passed away, and she had bequeathed all her stuff to this estate. And the person who is the caretaker in charge of it, Grace, who lives on the island in the cottage where Vanessa used to live, she hasn't turned over everything, so they're trying to get the rest of it. And then it turns out that one of Vanessa, the artist, one of her artworks that was on display when the museum's over somewhere, they found out they had a human bone in it. And like, you can't display human remains. And so also there was a whole thing about Vanessa's husband who had gone missing and never turned up. And then people start to wonder, could this bone have been from her husband? Curious and curiouser. And so the story is told through like journal pages and memories of that Grace has of Vanessa, and then some from Vanessa's viewpoint and whatnot. And I really enjoyed the story. It's not fast paced, but it's a nice, chill, atmospheric, suspenseful mystery of like what happened. Whose bone is it? Was it her husband? Did her husband just like his disappearance? Did he just F off? Or he also had debts all over town, so he owed money to a lot of shady people. Like maybe they made him disappear. I don't know. I really enjoyed reading it, like the atmosphericness of it. I love stories by the water. So you get a lot of that being on this little island in a cottage. And it kind of like, despite the darker undertones, it made me look forward to the spring and maybe want to go on some trip to a body of water somewhere nearby where I can drive in my car. All right. So currently I'm in the middle of two things. I'm in the middle of The Stand by Stephen King. I plowed through the first half and then I needed to take a break because it's such a journey and there's so many characters and there's so many facets to the story. Like, if you haven't read The Stand, basic premise is there is a pandemic of the super flu that was released by the US government, and it kills 99.4% of all the population of the world. So 0.6% survives. It's the story of the aftermath and the people who end up surviving. So the survivors eventually start to find each other and they start to flock towards each other. Some of these people are very effing evil, and some are good and are going to fight the good fight. It's a story of good versus evil. These people like have shared dreams. Stuff is very effed up. Like all the stuff that happens, like when society has fallen, all this as they start to rejoin to make their own new societies. And so right now, people are just starting to arrive in the core places, like in Vegas where the Dark Man is, and then in they're heading to Colorado with the other group of people. So that's where I'm about in that book. And I just started this other book called The Saint of the Narrow Street by William Boyle. This book, I'm literally one chapter in so far. There's this woman, Risa, and she's married to a horrible crapbag man. He beats her, he's cheating on her with some other woman. They have an 8-month-old kid, and her sister just went through a breakup, and she comes to stay with Risa and crapbag husband. And she gets there, and like the crapbag husband isn't there, but earlier that day he got a gun. Yay! That can only lead to good things, right? So, which he was there with his two buddies, and I don't remember what Risa said, but he pointed at her and her kid and like pulled the trigger. There was no bullet in it, but like, what the F, dude? That's effed up. So, anyways, her and her sister are there. He's out. Hopefully he's not coming home. Hopefully he just stays with that other woman that he wants to leave her for anyways. But he comes home and he's all drunk and wasted. And I've just gotten to the part where she hits him in the head with a cast iron skillet. And I think that he's probably dead. Because I think this is what this whole book is about. Because they get hold of one of his friends to like hide the body or something like that. I think that's what I read in the synopsis. That's where I'm at so far. And yeah, well, that's all I really know. I'm not really feeling one way or another about it. I'm interested. Like it's like the crap hits the fan right away. So those are the two books I'm in the middle of, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to get into in the upcoming days. We got a few books from the library because it's my favorite place ever. So let's tell you what I got from the library. I had this one on hold for a while. We'll Prescribe You a Cat by Sue Ishida. And I love books about cats. So when I see ones that look cute, that have a cat on the cover or something like that, I like to pick them up. So let me tell you what this one's about. Obviously, there'll be cats in it. A cat a day keeps the doctor away. Maybe. Tucked away on the fifth floor of an old building at the end of a narrow alley in Kyoto, the Nakagyo Kokoro Clinic for the Soul can be found only by people who are struggling in their lives and who genuinely need help. The mysterious clinic offers unique treatment for those who find their way there. It prescribes cats as medication. I love that. Patients are often puzzled by this unconventional prescription, but when they take their cat for the recommended duration, they witness profound transformation in their lives, guided by the playful, empathetic, and occasionally challenging yet endearing cats. Throughout the pages, the power of the human-animal bond is revealed as a disheartened businessman finds unexpected joy in physical labor. A middle-aged man struggles to stay relevant at work and at home. A young girl navigates the complexities of elementary school cliques. A hardened handbag designer seeks emotional balance, and a geisha learns to move on from the memory of her lost cat. As the clinic's patients grapple with their inner turmoil and seek resolution, their feline companions lead them toward healing, self-discovery, and newfound hope. And I love that. I love that. It sounds so great, and I can't wait to read this. All right, so this next one I'm kind of excited to read because this author, Julia Armfield, she wrote Our Wives Under the Sea, which was super weird and had to do with the water, and I loved it. So this is a book by her called Private Rights, and I don't even know what it's about. I just saw this author, and I was like, oh, yep, loved her last book, so let's read this one. So let me tell you what it's about, because I don't know either. All right, so it's been raining for a long time now. So long that the land has reshaped itself, and old rituals and religions are creeping back into practice. Sisters Isla, Irene, and Agnes have not spoken in some time when their father, an architect as cruel as he was revered, dies. His death offers an opportunity for the sisters to come together in a new way. In the grand glass house they grew up in, their father's most famous creation, the sisters sort through the secrets and memories he left behind, until their fragile bond is shattered by a revelation in his will. The sisters are more estranged than ever, and their lives spin out of control. Irene's relationship is straining at the seams, Isla's ex-wife keeps calling, and cynical Agnes is falling in love for the first time. But something even more sinister may be unfolding, something related to their mother's long ago disappearance. And the strangers who have always seemed unusually interested in the sisters' lives. Soon it becomes clear that the sisters have been chosen for a very particular purpose, one with shattering implications for their family and the imperiled world. I look forward to reading that. It sounds very intriguing. All right, next up. This is a random one that I really liked the cover, and then I read the synopsis and I thought it sounded pretty good. So this one is Homeseeking by Carissa Chen. Just like, I don't know, I thought that cover was really pretty. So let's tell you about it. A single choice can define an entire life. Hyun is buying bananas at a 99 Ranch Market in Los Angeles when he looks up and sees Suki, his Suki, for the first time in 60 years. To recently widowed Hyun, it feels like a second chance. But Suki has only survived by refusing to look back. Suki was 7 when she first met Hyun in their Shanghai neighborhood, drawn by the sound of his violin. Also, I apologize if I'm saying these names wrong. I am not 100% sure I'm saying them right. Their childhood friendship blossomed into a soul-deep love, but when Hyun secretly enlisted in the Nationalist Army in 1947 to save his brother from the draft, she was left with just his violin and a note, "Forgive me." Homeseeking follows the separated lovers through 6 decades of tumultuous Chinese history as war, famine, and opportunity take them separately along to the song halls of Hong Kong, the military encampments of Taiwan, the bustling streets of New York, and sunny California. telling Haiwen's story from the present to the past while tracing Suki's from her childhood to the present, meeting in the crucible of their lives. Throughout, Haiwen holds his memories close while Suki forces herself to look only forward, neither losing sight of the home they hold in their hearts. At once epic and intimate, Homeseeking is a story of family, sacrifice, and loyalty, and of the power of love to endure beyond distance and beyond time. It kind of like made me think of the book Pachinko a little bit with like kind of the synopsis of this. So I really liked Pachinko and I thought maybe I would really like this. So we will see how that one goes. I will keep you updated. Out of all of these, I'm super stoked the most for the cat book because, well, I love cats. And that sounds like such a sweet premise. Like, oh, hey, you're sad and depressed and because you lost your job or whatever. This cat is for you. And they all have different little personalities. I don't know. I think it's going to be a really good book. So I'm super looking forward to that. What have you guys been reading? Anything interesting or weird or that has animals in it? I always love books with animals. I also love like the cozy mysteries that have like cats or dogs in them. It's fun. At some point, I need to do a video about like my favorite books with like cats in them or something along those lines. I got a few cozy mysteries and then some other. I've read a lot of miscellaneous books having to do with cats. So that could be a video idea for the future, possibly. Anywho, if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.